Substance abuse. 2 words parents hope that their children never have to deal with firsthand. And as the time to return back to school approaches, there's an increased likelihood that their kids will be exposed at some point or other to drugs or alcohol. Back in November 2018, local authorities ended up seizing nearly 3 pounds of marijuana from a middle school student's home after the student was found to have brought the drug on campus. In Chatham County, a unique group called the Counter Narcotics Team helps the Savannah police as well as school police in cases where drugs are found on school campuses in our area. The agency works closely with local law enforcement, including the Savannah-Chatham Board of Education Police Department, to ensure that they know what to look for and how to identify the substances that could harm your kids.
There's been several times throughout the past couple of years where they've called us in after they've located a substance on campus, and through that joint investigation we were able to seize the person or persons involved with it. In some cases even working the investigation back to where it originated, either at a student's house or someone who was connected to the student where the substance was originally obtained from.
There are some drugs where the CNT has seen increased use in recent years among middle and high schoolers. Liquid THC, for instance. In some cases, students are bringing edibles to school to sell them and pass them around to their friends. The Savannah-Chatham County Public School System's Code of Conduct states students could be expelled for bringing drugs, alcohol, or vaping products on campus. Area schools each have amnesty boxes, containers where students can anonymously drop banned items without the fear of being disciplined. The types of drugs kids may have access to today, Harley says, are, quote, leaps and bounds more dangerous and more addictive than in years past.
And especially when talking to clandestine drugs, one dose of it can be deadly to the child. It's important to hammer these statistics into these kids so they really know that by trying these drugs could potentially cause them to lose their life.
While agencies like the CNT deal with the problem after the drugs have been found, there are other local groups, like Beyond the Bell, that take a more proactive rather than a reactive approach, doing their best to tackle the problem before it starts. Beyond the Bell project coordinator Lindsay Grovenstein says the key to helping prevent kids from getting involved with illegal substances begins with a conversation.
We tell kids, what the risks are. We lay it out to them because there's a lot of misperceptions about use. Kids don't know how long marijuana stays in their system, for instance, and so we just want to clear the air. And so we tell them about it, but then we go a step forward, not just telling them don't, but then what? So we also teach positive coping skills, and we try to instill other pro-social activities, trying to get them to do, other things to cope with their anxiety and their anger besides turning to substances.
Beyond the Bell's goal is to reduce the use of alcohol and marijuana in youth between the ages of 9 and 20. According to the Georgia Student Health Survey, 8% of kids say they've tried alcohol or marijuana within a 30-day period. It's a smaller number than many might have thought. Local experts agree that while schools, local organizations, and law enforcement can do all they can to keep illegal substances out of the hands of kids, it starts at home.
We can't do it alone. We need the parents' involvement. So, they know their child best than anyone else. So if all of a sudden their child is displaying behavior that's not normal, they need to look into that. They need to maybe check their rooms periodically to see if there's any type of drug paraphernalia, and then contact your local law enforcement agency or us.
You can try to bring the conversation into when you're in the car with them, at dinner, asking them about it. We have to make these conversations easier to happen, because if they don't, then stuff like substance use thrives when it's in silence.
For WSAV, I'm digital reporter Ashley Williams.